Lisa. How nice to see you.
Good to see you
I
too.
think it's been 20 years. Maybe not.
No, maybe not 20 years. Maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's you can sing all you want today because we're outside.
Perfect. So, hi guys. This is my friend Thelma, and Thelma and I sang together a while ago. And she's kindly agreed to show us a little bit about veggie gardening in her beautiful garden here. So we're going to get started and take you along for the ride. Hey Thelma, look what I got you!
No.
I'll put it on the ground for you.
Oh no, isn't that great?
Some lacinato kale.
Well, I've never ever grown it. And look at you guys, aren't you great? Are you ready to go in the ground? Shall I undo it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is like Christmas for me.
Oh, that's great.
Great. Uh-oh.
I was going to call you and ask you if you wanted any.
Yes.
I'll just bring it if you don't want it. You can just,
Gardeners would just take, well, everything short of weeds though.
Yeah.
Those are a little tricky.
It's like opening a gift.
Oh my gosh, look how healthy they are.
They look pretty good.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and as I said, you've hardened them off?
Yeah,
I mean,
because they've been outside the whole time.
So they can go in today?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
They should go and find I think so. That was confident.
Well,
yes. I'll say yes.
And you know
I'll
what?
put my thumb up.
Tomorrow's 26.
Oh, wow, that's
and
fantastic.
So I can always, I think they might suffer from sunburn if nothing else.
yeah, they might get a little wilted. We'll keep an eye on them.
Yeah, we'll have to water, but they look wonderful. So this is a square foot gardening idea that my husband, who has since passed, had taught me.
Right.
And this is the tool that I use to mark out the square feet.
Oh, did you make this? Did your husband make this?
Noel did, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And so it's just like, it looks like a ladder, but it's not.
Yeah, so I mean it matches, the width and of our beds.
So is that 3 feet, you said? 3
that would be 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that this is an irregular size there.
Okay. Oh yeah, right in the corner.
Yeah, they're not all, but this maps out my square feet.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then of course we have to have a bit of food, and we're going to put vermiculite and compost in the soil before we plant.
Nice.
So the garden the soil has been turned slightly.
Okay.
Any weeds have been taken out.
Okay.
And then you can see you've got some volunteer garlic here. This garlic was planted in the fall.
Oh, nice.
And this garlic, it was what was left over.
Okay.
And there's different places there. Yeah.
So when did you plant this garlic in the fall? Like around?
I think it was certainly in October.
Okay.
Yeah. I go as long as I can.
Yeah.
Not that the ground is cool, not cold, and it has to be a good temperature for me to work in.
Yes, right. So
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, these seeds are fresh. I call garlic, the planted ones, seeds, even though they're cloves. And they're new. Then I'll use some of my, I'll call it seeds, when I come to plant again in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put
Okay.
it to work.
So Lisa, this is, I've got to spread the compost and the vermiculite.
Okay.
So if I go like this, and you take that container, fill it up with vermiculite there.
Oh.
And so the rule is you don't step on the soil.
Okay, and I
That-
just did it.
No, that's why the soil is so workable.
Yes, so because you haven't stepped on it.
That's right. That's
And
just,
except for my one big footprint.
it's
So you dug this in earlier.
the vermiculite.
No, the soil, you just loosened it
Yeah,
up.
that's right. That's right. Just loosen it. Yeah, I don't make a big.
And do you want this whole thing in 2 of these?
Let's just spread it, and I'll give you.
You'll give me a
There's,
go.
you know what, Lisa? You know when you garden for years, you just have a sense,
Yeah,
and just put it on top of that.
okay.
And it's probably going to be a little bit more than that. And you see how soil gets taken up? I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't. There, that's.
That's good?
Yeah.
Need more?
Maybe
bit
over here, yeah. It's always amazing to me if you order soil to top your garden. I call it. It consumes it. It knows it needs it, and it eats it up. Yeah.
I just went ahead and did it.
No, that's good. Over here too.
Oh, in the corner?
Yeah, and just along. And I should use proper language. Yes is the word. You might as well use it up. See it in
Okay.
all these places here. The other way we used to plant too was to put, when we make the holes for the seeds, we fill it with vermiculite instead of soil.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps it germinate that much faster. But I'm early enough in the season that I'm not going to do that.
And where'd you get your vermiculite? Do you buy it?
Do you know what?
Bulk?
I'll promote Beaver Dam Nursery.
Okay.
The best price. I got a bag, I don't know, it would be about this tall, for $25.
Oh,
And in the other places you pay $25 for a little bag.
okay,
So-
Thelma.
All right, I'm on.
You're on.
Yeah. So
And me too.
So what we have now, we're going to use this plot
Okay.
for kale and Swiss chard, and typically kale grows higher than Swiss chard.
Okay.
And I've got two kinds of kale,
Okay.
and one is called improved Siberian, and the other one is called red URSA, whatever that means.
URSA. Where's that?
Yours.
I won't try it.
Now,
Okay.
on my master plan,
Okay.
it's determined that kale gets planted four plants, but we're going to put more seeds in each hole
Okay.
per square foot.
Okay.
So that's how we're going to approach this. Now it's a little tricky. This is our trim gym here, and we'll start.
Okay. So
All
you
right.
have this tool, this kind of.
Yes. Oh, yes. So this is a tool that's used to actually make the divot or the
The hole.
yeah. And we talked about. Usually I plant a little bit deeper than the package says. It's usually about I'm about an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You're just gonna go
But
for it.
when you make the hole, of course it collapses. The soil fills it.
Yeah.
So you just stick your finger in a little more. Okay.
Okay, should we go for it?
Sure. So now this is
So
the
that's
next
this
step.
one.
We're just gonna, I'm gonna just move this over so I know where the, and then I'm just gonna cover these holes and pat them down gently.
Okay, can I pat them down
Yes.
from this side?
Yes,
There might be a few extra.
that's okay. We want to ensure germination.
Okay.
And if I had that fork, we'll do it later. Not the fork, but the well, it is. You could use something, but we'll stamp it down at the end.
Okay.
Okay, now.
So now you're
So-
going to go and we're going to do now the Ursa.
That's right, the Ursa.
Ursa goes here.
I'll just. I have three kinds of, no, just two kinds. Well, let me just put, this is a colorful, I love this colorful Swiss chard. So it's got yellow, rose, gold, and white in here. So I may be generous and plant more of this.
Yeah, because you like it, right?
I love it. I just
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Swiss chard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So-
So you've got the bulk
got
of the
the-
seeds.
Yeah, I've got the seeds
There's
here.
just one left. So
Okay.
these are not very generous.
They're kind of like a neat shape and stuff.
They're like a beet.
They're
like a beet leaf seed.
okay.
So because we've got so few, I'm going to just see. It says 60. I don't think that's 60.
It doesn't look like 60.
No, that's a little under. So we'll put. If you can put 2, that would be the most.
2 in each hole.
But that may be pushing it. And in my plan, as far as Swiss chard goes, sometimes I break the plan if I really like this. So we've got lots of space, so we're going to put 4 per square foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Lisa, I know this is a plant that I just love, a vegetable I just love. It's kohlrabi, and I don't know that there's a lot of difference between these two. They're different companies, but you know it's it's from the turnip family. It's a lot more. It's not as bitter. It's tender. I like to eat it raw. I know you can cook it. I know you can put it in soup. But you know, I just love it raw. The only downside to this is it takes a long time. I mean, you know, you're not getting it till, at least I haven't, till basically the end of August, middle of August.
Okay.
If I'm lucky.
Okay.
But I persist in planting it, and and I live alone, so maybe I won't plant quite as much this year. So that's the kohlrabi, and then next to that, you and I are going to plant spinach. Now, when I bought this, I was looking hard for this particular kind of spinach, and it's called perpetual. You can see it just barely says that on there. Just under spinach it says perpetual. There are so many different kinds of spinach, and most often spinach bolts. This one doesn't. All it does is it just keeps replenishing. It's almost like it keeps replenishing itself.
Okay.
And of course, early on in the spring and into early summer, it's nice and tender. It's just lovely. And then I leave it at pretty much in September for the deer, and they'll eat it. And then if we'll probably have room in the front, and that's going to be
You
radishes.
want to do the radish there?
Yeah, and radishes can be planted several times. It doesn't take them very long to come up, and you can just keep replanting.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so that's this little bed in here.
Okay, so how many are we planting in the square foot again? So
4 in the kohlrabi,
and then
nine
in
for the spinach. Yeah,
and then this radish, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
just
just-
whatever's left
yes,
over.
I'm just going to put them in a row
Okay,
and
good.
space them out a couple inches apart. Well, Lisa, what do you think I've got here?
A potato.
Yeah, and it wintered over, and it's pretty ambitious. It really wants to get into the ground, because by itself it's not going to do much. So these are the root, the sprouts that will become roots, and I'm going to snip some of this off because I need a really big hole to put that thing in, and it serves no purpose. So that's the first thing. And I'll just get these little clippers ready, and I'm just going to do a random thing like this. And then I usually the other thing is I usually keep the potatoes in the sun pretty much a day before. Somehow I've learned that and that's sort of what gardeners do. They keep the potatoes out. I think the sun probably does set them up. Now, this is so warm and so lovely, you'd want to take it to bed and put it on your feet to keep you warm. So now what I want you to do is I'm gonna take this pointed shovel, and I'm going to pull the soil away, and I want you to pitch that or at least place that potato in there and just give it a little tug or a push, make sure it's embedded, put the soil back on, and we move to the next.
Okay, sounds good.
I've got a few varieties, and you're going to want to know what the varieties are, but you know what? They're seeds that I've got from my sister, my friend. This variety came from her garden just east of Didsbury, and they were so delicious, a yellow flesh and really nice and tasty, a lovely potato. And so I'm glad that I was able to, get them to actually be a seed potato. Now, if they don't form that little sprout like this, then don't plant them, because that means they've been eradicated, and actually that's perfect. If I didn't have such a big garden spot, I would cut that in half and get 2 seeds out of that. But I've got lots of space, so I'm just going to put the whole thing in.
Okay, sounds good.
And the only other potato, and I don't know what success I'm going to have, because this is called a fingerling. But you know what? I left them in the ground too long last fall, and they didn't winter well. I think they got frozen. So I may have to pass on that. That was a real, I've had fingerling potatoes for years, so I might just have to cut my losses and say, not this year.
It was a flop.
It was a flop, yeah. So are you ready to
Okay,
toss?
we're ready. Well, let's do this.
Okay.
Nope, try it.
Yeah, so we're going to use the vermiculite on top of the lettuce divots that we make, the seeds.
Nice.
And, you know, that lettuce will come up a little earlier because it doesn't have to push through the soil. I mean, typically that's what happens. So that's where, and I just wanted to point out, Lisa, that these little tiny plants over here, that's thyme that was planted last summer.
Oh, nice.
And it wintered. And then, isn't that lovely? How tiny they are. And then over here,
Let's follow you.
yeah, over here is tarragon. And this is a really, really old plant. I hope some of these come back.
It gets quite large, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. And Lisa just tasted some, and it has a little bit of that anise taste to it.
Yeah.
And she thinks that would be
Licorice.
great. Yeah, licorice.
Yeah.
In Asian cooking. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, if you're ever considering a herb to plant, that's one very hardy one.
Yeah.
It really is great. So shall we do the lettuce?
Yes,
Let us do the lettuce.
Let's do the lettuce. Let us do the lettuce.
Okay.
Good little pun. Okay.
Lisa,
Yeah.
you know, this year I bought new seeds, as I was saying.
Yeah.
I love the package, the look of this one. I've never grown it. I read the direction, or I read its you know, description. This slow-growing petite romaine has elegant urn-shaped heads. The superb rust-colored leaves have olive green undertones and nicely contrasting veins. Green is ideal for summer and fall lettuce production. Now, if that isn't a description to knock the, you know, boots off you, I don't know what is. And you'll have to come back.
I think
Lisa,
I most definitely have to come back.
And we'll you know, enjoy all of the adjectives that describe this beautiful lettuce. So I'm going to give it a try. There's not a lot of them in the package, so I'm going to plant. Whoops, that went too low. I just lost it. I'm going to plant it not as deep, and I'm going to just, for now, put 2 seeds in each little divot, because boy, do I want to taste this. And then in the end, we'll see what happens next year. You know, I planted lettuce in the fall, and it's come up in the spring, and it has been so delicious. I missed the opportunity this year.
Aw.
But really and truly, if you get a chance to plant lettuce in the fall, it's...
People are passing by.
So I'm going to just show you the
technique. Should I come
Yeah.
close?
Sure, it's not rocket science. Like, most of gardening isn't rocket science. Most of it is intuition and experience. So I'm just going to put these little bits of, you know, vermiculite on top. I like doing this actually when I'm planting, because then I know where I've planted.
Oh, yes.
So you can see. You
So-
know how it's
So Thelma, is there a reason why you used it on this particular plant, or you just wanted to try?
well, it said slow growing, for one thing, and I sort of want to give it, and it's a little more shady on this side of my yard, not today, but generally, and I just want to give it a little bit more of an opportunity to germinate and not have to push through the soil.
Okay.
Really, it's really light.
Yeah.
And I'll finish that up when I come to the other side. So I think I'm going to just, because of its description and how lovely it sounds, I'm going to just finish up this little section in here.
Just slide right into it. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this session with Thelma and her beautiful garden, and hopefully this helps you with your veggie garden this year. Until the next time, bye for me.
Bye-bye. And an excellent day with Lisa. I highly recommend her as a garden helper. We've had so much fun, and she just gets it. So, she's going to come back and take pictures of the garden as it progresses. And maybe we'll even have fun eating some of the veggies. So, good luck with your gardening. Don't stop.
Good luck with your gardening. Don't stop. Okay, bye.